Welcome back to Girls Rewatch,
a podcast about girls,
TV, and girls on TV.
I'm Amelia Rataller.
And I'm Evan Lazarus.
And Merry Christmas, ho, 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 happy holidays.
Oh my god, is this coming out during the holiday?
I think it's coming out like a few days before Christmas. That's why I'm dressed like a tree or like a child who has to go to a Catholic mass.
Yeah, you look like an orphan trying to get adopted.
I love wearing long dresses. This is like the third time I've ever done it in my life.
I know, because I'm actually looking at this, and it's weird that I noticed, but that's not a plaid, that's a tardiff.
What's a tardiff?
A tartan.
Don't call me that.
A tartan. And also, so sorry.
A tariff. Which a lot of Americans found out what tariff was this week.
Did you see
the
that there was
number one Google search.
I know. Isn't that so funny?
Yeah. Okay. Wait.
Do you want to know what it is?
Tell me.
It's a plaid is like any combination of colors like this if you're looking at the home's video. But a tartan is specific pattern for a family. So families that have plaids that are for families are tartan. That's a difference.
Okay, so I'm part of the tartan family.
You're part of no.
The Ritallers have a tartan.
Right, exactly. It's like a crust.
Shout out, Dad.
Sorry, that's of course off.
No, I think I think people are gonna find that interesting because I find that fascinating.
There's only like 28 different kinds.
I need you to use it in a sentence like 2 more times within the next
to
2
learn
weeks
it,
so I can lock it in. But like I'm really excited about that vocab word. I'm levitating today because guess what? I just filled out my first class action lawsuit.
Wait, I almost did that one yesterday.
For Beyond Meat?
For Instagram addiction.
Oh my god, wait. I could do that one.
Wait,
too.
you go first.
Okay, so I was vegan from the year 2016 to 2022, 2021-ish.
Yeah.
And in that time, Beyond Meat was like rising through the ranks of the marketplace. And I bought so many Beyond Meat products only to find out they were massively lying about the grams of protein.
I knew you were going to say, I didn't even have to know what the story was. I knew you'd bring up protein because you've always had a protein deficiency and you thought you were getting enough even there.
I thought I've had a protein deficiency since I met Evan, and Evan slowly but surely taught me about protein, and I owe like my health and wealth to Evan because of it. But here I was thinking I was getting enough protein as a vegan. Beyond Meat lied, and now I'm going to get $10 in like a year and a half. So I'm feeling incredible.
Wait, so do we know what the difference between the protein they said and the protein they had?
I saw a TikTok. It's like 4 to 7 gram difference.
That's actually absurd.
It's absurd.
Because I'm sure when they came to market, they're like, we're a great substitute for meat. And as part of that is our like high level of protein. So vegetarians and vegans can get their protein in. But to completely lie about something, that's like one of the key factors a person would buy Beyond Meat or even become even if you are a non-vegan or vegetarian,
they're attracted because they're like, well, this burger's 20 grams of protein, why not?
It tastes terrible. The taste of liquid smoke is liquid death to me. It's one of the worst things I've ever.
I love liquid smoke.
You like liquid smoke?
Well, I did at the time before I discovered grilled chicken again.
Beyond Meat one time gave like free burgers out of my college campus, and I was like, I'm so excited to try it. It came from the Economist magazine was doing a collab with Beyond Meat, and they're giving out only half burgers to everyone on campus. So interesting. But
only
I ate
half
it.
Burgers?
Yeah, they gave
10 grams. You might as well have an RX
right,
bar.
Exactly. Well, they were making burgers, but they cut them in half and then they gave them away. I was like, well, I feel cheated by The Economist and now Beyond Meat. And you always feel cheated by Beyond Meat. Whatever. I ate that burger. It had liquid smoke in it. I didn't know what that was. I was like, why does my mouth taste like the inside of a cigarette for the next like 3.5 weeks? It didn't go away. The cigarette taste lingered.
Do you have to let it linger?
It was a cranberry song.
Do you have
literally.
to? You have to.
If you're wearing a tartan and you're singing to Cranberries, it's really an amazing collab.
Wait,
it's a better collab than Beyond Meat / Economist.
I want to know about the Instagram thing, but let's read the synopsis really quick.
Okay, the printer. It's out of the printer. I can go get it.
Oh, go get it. Okay, our guest is arriving within the minute, so Evan ran upstairs. So I'm just gonna do the synopsis really quick. This is season 2, episode 2, Mochalatta Chills. Cold open, Abby and Alana using a free movie pass to watch a ton of movies and then complaining to get a free movie pass again. LOL classic. And then we cut to Abby being absolutely fed up with Bevers after seeing him put a mini fridge in the living room and get a gnarly couch sore on his back from sitting and gaming so long. Meanwhile, Alana's boss starts therapy and learns to set a boundary with Alana, that she must get a deal by the end of the day or she will have to be let go. Bevers is gone from the apartment for the first time ever, so Abby dances naked to the edge of glory, only to show up at Solstice for work and get the opportunity to help Trey train someone, but find out it's Bevers deciding to get his fitness on after Abby telling him he needs to get a life. Bevers is pushed too hard and gets hurt. Meanwhile, Alana hires unpaid internships to do her job for her, and when she's having lunch with Abby in a white power suit, she realizes she's being a white supremacist capitalist, and she lets the interns go, but not after getting them to close 4 deals for her, thus making her pretty iconic in the eyes of her boss.
And that's what you missed on Glee.
Okay, yeah, totally. Now let's get excited for our guest. Wait,
Fresh hot
I'm
ink.
dying for this blazer.
Thank you.
I love it. I want it.
I am obsessed with it. I got it from Newly. It's like
Don't talk to me about Newly, Ashley. Wait.
I got it, and then I fell in love with it and just didn't send it back. I was like, I'm keeping this. I don't care.
And they gave it to you for a discount rate.
Yeah, it was only $80,
Oh my
and
God.
originally it was like $200.
It really is anthropology.
Like,
Oh, wait,
yeah.
I'm keeping this in the episode because right now I'm DMing Newly. Like, I love you. I talk about you every episode. Like, please work with me. And they're
yeah.
like, okay, maybe.
Please.
But no, Cross is all joining us on the couch today. The one and only Ashley Ray.
Oh my God. Thanks for doing the
Hello.
pod, girl.
I'm really so happy and excited to be here.
I'm so happy and
I
excited for you to
just-
be here.
I'm gonna get comfy too.
Yeah, no,
Please.
everybody get cozy. Welcome to Bushwick. We're so glad you're here.
Have you ever done a podcast in a vertical line like this before?
No.
Or even horizontal, I mean.
No, I think this is maybe the first time I've done a podcast in Bushwick.
Oh my
Which-
God.
Yeah.
We
It's
like
an
to
honor
think
to
we're
be
the
your
only
first.
podcast in
So
Bushwick.
yeah, so many happen here every day.
I know. I'm like, they should be reaching out. I'm like, we'll send out a bird call.
This feels really special, and
Welcome to New York. It's been waiting for you.
I love New York. This is the 4th time I've been here this year, actually.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
I
So
just-
you're actually bi-coastal.
You did
Pretty
it.
much bi-coastal. It's mostly that anytime anyone offers me any sort of thing, I'm like, yeah, I'll go. New York, sure, I'll go.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're paying me $50 to do a show. Yeah, I can make that work. I'll make that work.
It's
I
like
just love
somebody
being
asking you
here.
to do a basement show in Bushwick, and you're
I'm
like,
like,
I'll fly in.
You're
Oh,
going to
yeah,
love my
yeah.
open mic, girl. We're going to get you there.
It's like, yeah, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I can work with that. Thank you so much.
I love it. Wait, so give us your life story really quick. What's your deal?
Oh, my deal. I am from the Midwest, very Midwest queen. I embrace it, love it. Northern Illinois, Rockford, which is.
Do you feel represented by Chapel being like Midwest?
Yes, I do. I really do. I love that she is making it. I feel some stolen valor when I see people not from the Midwest with the camo, with the doing it a little, but I do. For so long, people ignored us.
Right.
Just ignored us. When I was in college, I started a Midwest club because I went to school. I went to school on the
cultural
East Coast,
club.
and people were like, "What is the Midwest? Like Colorado?" And I was like, "No, it's a very distinct culture and place."
Right.
So I started a Midwest club. We had a huge debate over whether or not Kansas was the Midwest, Nebraska, a few
What's
Great
the
Plains
answer?
states. I say no, firmly no, because I am just a purist when it comes to the Midwest.
Wait, so
Right.
what is the Midwest?
So-
Is it it's in Wisconsin,
Yeah,
Michigan?
Wisconsin, Michigan,
Minnesota.
Minnesota, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Ohio, Indiana.
Oh.
And so this is an educational podcast
Yeah.
today.
You're
Wait,
learning
so what is
today.
Nebraska then?
That's the Great Plains.
Oh my God. I
I
forgot
see the Great Plains as most people, and then there's the Rockies. It's like we have this big old country, and there's all these little communities and cultures, and let's embrace them. And anyway,
Yeah,
the Midwest,
please.
we love to get drunk a lot. So
Mm.
I've
that's
heard it's very like Ireland in
Yeah.
a way. Although I don't think there's much else those two have in common.
there are a lot
There
of Irish
are.
Really?
people there. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like Chicago, is probably 80% Irish. Quote me on that
Damn.
statistic. It is true.
Wait, so did you go to school in Chicago?
No, I went to school in Massachusetts.
Love.
Very liberal art school, and that's when I was like, I want to be an artist and write TV and stuff, and and
You and the 4 other girls at Amherst were like, we have to start a Midwest club. That is so awesome. Did you go to Amherst?
I went to Williams.
Oh, you went to William. That's second guess. Well,
And Amherst is our biggest,
biggest rival.
rival.
So Ashley just left the studio.
Yeah.
So I mean, to know that I give Amherst vibes right now, fair.
yeah, you're
fair.
wearing a sequins blazer.
They are cooler than us.
Yeah, they
I-
really are.
There's this story of like these kids from Amherst came to our college and they like put a big A on our stuff, like football field or whatever. And then a bunch of Williams kids went to their school and put like an A+ or something.
Oh, that's actually really funny.
And yeah, I was like, sure, that's funny, you nerds. Because they were like, at the time we were the #1 school in the country, so they were like, and I was like, yeah, okay, nerdy, like, sure.
Wait, I think that's really clever. I actually am gonna give it to them.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2,000 kids in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Like it's as far west as you can be in Massachusetts and still be in the state. There's a part on campus where you can touch Vermont, New York, and Massachusetts at the same time.
Oh, really?
So
I
it's-
love learning about something like that as a kid. Like I remember my
Right?
mom sitting me down and being like, "There's a way to be in 3 states at once."
At once.
And I was like, I can't believe the world works
Your mom
this way.
sat you down for that?
Bridget
It was
sat
like
me down.
you
She
never had
sat
a
it
sex talk, but you did figure out that 4 states
That's
connect.
100% accurate. That is 100%
Borders
accurate.
meet each other.
Yeah, right.
I learned a lot.
But
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I think that's my deal. It was a really small school, 2,000 kids, and it just made me really weird.
Oh my god!
And
you were
after
like,
that, I went to
have to be
Chicago.
a writer.
Yeah, I don't. That's where I went back to Chicago and was like, I have to write about my crazy odd life, liberal arts. I'm just doing it for the story, you
Yeah.
know.
I'm glad you're the first person to ever graduate from a liberal arts college
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah,
It's
it's really just
actually
like I
awesome.
have an experience that. Get this, I'm from a small town, but now I'm going to a big city, and
Whoa! I'm like, wait, I need to know more about that.
yeah,
Wait, it's
yeah.
beautiful. Well, then how did you find Broad City?
I mean, I watched the web series.
Oh,
I,
really?
Yeah,
Oh my
I
god,
was
on like Facebook.
yes.
Which is
Oh
actually
my
so liberal arts college. Like I feel like the people keeping that program alive were liberal arts college students.
Oh yeah, and I went to a weird high school where we had email addresses. So when I was in high school,
Bougie.
yeah, honestly, they gave us laptops in 6th grade. So
Oh my god.
it was very problematic. I saw the movie Secretary when I was like 12 years old. You should not give 6th graders laptops. That's what I'm saying. But so I was already on Facebook when I was like a senior in high school, so I kind of got to see it early, and I was like, this is so funny. I had no idea you could just
Oh my god.
make a web series.
Right.
These girls are brilliant. It was also around the time Issa Rae was doing her YouTube series.
right.
So I just kind of fell in love with all of them, started
Yeah.
following them. And when the Comedy Central show happened, I was already like, they deserve it. I have been waiting for this.
Yes.
Like, let's go, Broad
An
City.
early investor.
Yeah. So
Oh,
Damn.
that's so validating, honestly.
it is. It was like, and so many shows that like were happening that way at the
Mhm.
time, like High Maintenance, and it would just be cool to kind of see these little comedians you would like recognize, you know, from like cameos in Portlandia or something, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, they have a show.
I wish that still happened.
Me too. It was
Right.
kind of like a cool way for comedy to
Uh-huh.
work. Is you
Yeah.
would see people do it and grow instead of just being like, I have a TikTok with crowd work. So
I have a TikTok with crowd work.
Things
wait, we
change.
know you're a huge girls person too.
oh, I love girls.
What's your story with girls?
I mean, day one, love girls. Obviously, I knew Lena Dunham. I love Tiny Furniture. I didn't truly buy into the, oh, she just like wrote it on a napkin and privilege gave her the show. Because I was like, because she has work.
That's
Tiny
actually what she
Furniture's
did.
good.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think she found some success in the indie circuit first.
Yeah,
but-
she did. Like, give her credit. And so I immediately knew I'm gonna watch this show. It was made for me. Like the second I saw in the clip when she's like, I could be the voice of a generation, I'm like, yeah, okay, this is about me personally.
Was it a Facebook clip?
Probably. I definitely think I was in a few girls like Facebook groups. I definitely did a like the stars as girls characters and Sex in the City and Golden Girls characters.
Oh wow.
On a Facebook group.
Right.
You have to.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Wait, could you give us a quick power ranking if you feel comfortable?
of the stars or like which one was which?
Yeah, which one's which?
Yeah.
Okay, if I can even remember, I think it was like Rose Nyland was a Pisces, obviously. I think I had Hannah as a Sagittarius,
Ooh.
which yeah.
That feels right.
Yeah. And I'm a Sagittarius and you're going to ask, I'm Hannah. It's not even a question.
Yeah.
I recently did a girls rewatch and I was texting my friends and I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm in my Marnie era. And they were just like, no, you
Girl,
never,
try.
yeah. You've never been in anything but a Hannah era. So
Yeah, you came in a blazer.
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, switching back to Broad City, we do have to ask you the question.
Girl, what girl are you?
Obviously, Alana.
Why?
I'm one of those people who just is always, why not do that? It's for the
Right.
story. It'll be fun. I think I give that vibe. And in college, I was like engaged when I was 19. I was
Whoa.
yeah. Oh, I guess when I did my deal, that should have been a part of it. I got engaged at 19. We were
Oh my
like, we'll
God.
get married when we graduate college. And instead I was like, actually, I don't ever want to be married. Can we separate? And I'm going to go to Chicago and I want to be the biggest slut that the world has ever seen.
Oh
I was like,
God.
I need to get out there and sow my oats. And that's what I
Yes.
did. So I was just in these streets and
Oh my God.
just like Broad City, when I would watch Alana, so much of what she
Right.
would do, I was like, oh yeah, that stupid thing. I have done that. Oh wow. Yes, like finding someone on Craigslist this way, like selling panties because I needed weed money. Like I have been in this situation.
Whoa.
She's me.
This is gorgeous because you might be our first guest that's like really proudly Alana. Because we've had a lot of people that are Abby and proud to be Abby, but we've had like very few Alanas. But you're the first proud Alana.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like she's epic.
She's epic.
She
She is.
is.
I used to do Airbnb and I had this like couple from Iowa stay with me. And when I would do Airbnb, it was like, I'm part of the experience, right? I would be like,
totally.
here's the cool bars I'll be at. Here's all the stuff if you want to hang. And I would just like, be like, if you want to come, whatever, I'm living my life. And every single day they would be like, you are just like Alana from Broad City.
Really?
And the first 2 days I thought it was a compliment. And by the 5th day, I was like, I think they're insulting me.
Right, you're like,
I
I'm
was
being
like,
bullied by my
Yeah, by my
guests.
God. They're like, oh God, she's like Alana from Broad City. Like they are not saying it in a good way. And that's when I realized like, oh, so there are people who
right.
are like, you should grow up.
Yeah.
It makes sense now.
Wow.
Whoa, that's beautiful.
I'm proud of it. To be a Hannah, to be an Alana, the world needs us.
No,
It's a
wear
beautiful
it.
message.
Wear
We're
it,
proud.
yeah.
That's how
Beautiful
honestly I feel
messages.
too.
Yeah.
I do
What
a lot
girl
of stuff
did
for
you
the
feel like
prod.
in this app?
In this app?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Mochalatta Chills.
Mochalatta Chills. I mean, okay, again, my standard answer, of course, is Alana. But like Alana is so problematic in this episode where it's like I don't
I
know if
was gonna say
Yeah.
if you don't say Alana for this episode, I'd be like, you don't know who you are.
I don't want to say it just for that reason alone. I don't know who I am. Wait, why? Actually,
Same.
why do you think I'm Alana?
I think
Here, I'm ready
I'll
for
speak
an
for both
insult.
of us if you don't mind.
Oh,
Then
God.
you could kind of counter argue. In this episode, I'm Nicole because I'm addicted to like doing the work and getting pissed when other people like see the world from like a bigger picture and know how to operate. Like me when I worked at a crazy startup and ran the company. Meanwhile, like this guy that like was just all vibes, like worked once a year.
Mm.
Yeah.
But you're Alana because you're always trying to get us to hire interns to do our jobs, even though we don't have money.
Wait, pause. They reach out asking to do the work.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
This is Alana's argument in this. Like all
They
the interns
asked.
wanted
we
to
didn't
work.
even.
want
We
to.
never
They-
said we wanted interns.
they wanna pad
Interns
their
came to us.
resumes.
They
They
came to us.
But you're always trying to like
It's so funny because every time we diagnose each other as a different character, it's like it's never for a kind and cool reason. It's like always for the most cutting facts.
Yeah.
you're doing
I-
freelance social stuff and you're like, I'm gonna hire this person to do this and this person to do this.
It's outsourcing.
Yeah.
It's community wealth, though, the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Totally.
Okay, let's do you, girl.
Yeah.
No, you're Bevers. How does that feel?
Right.
It's not
hey,
her truth at all.
Bevers getting his work on this app, so no worries.
Yeah.
What's his name? What's a
Do you not think I'm Nicole?
no, not at all.
Really?
Why do you
Wow.
see
That's
yourself
really
as
sweet.
a Nicole? 'Cause
I
you're
think
like-
I've been
you think you're a
Nicole.
chronic hard worker, which you are. Like that, but I don't think that's as
Ooh.
encompassing for you. I
I
think
feel like we're about to get in a fight.
no, she is. I'm not denying that, but I think like in your current era and in the characters here, like you were so Solstice employee.
Ooh.
I'm Trey.
You're Trey.
Trey.
Trey was killing me this episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're-
All
that's
W
not
Downs
bad,
gives
honestly.
such
No,
a
you definitely feel like a Trey to me.
Yeah.
Like you're such you said this in the last episode or like a few episodes. So you're like, anytime my friend's down bad, I'm always sending a motivational quote. Like you love to see someone do a
Right.
transformation even more than you want to do a transformation yourself.
That
Yeah.
is actually an amazing read.
Uh-huh.
Putting in the work, like you have an idea, a project. Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
she'll monetize it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She'll build the business off
Absolutely.
someone else's back. Oh, see, how does that feel now?
Yeah, see? Thoughtful. I actually in this episode, I think that I'm Chris Gethard's character, the boss. I'm just
Yeah.
like constantly just getting made fun of by children. I just feel awful.
Oh my god, yeah. So, refresher in this episode, Chris Gethard takes the day off work because he has to go to the jailhouse to point out which small
Small
tween
child.
girl bullied him in the street.
It's like you Macklemore abortion.
Yeah.
It is my favorite C plot in the show because it's
It's
just the
so
most like like small thing, and it pays off in the end with him being like, "Who is this?" The character they're all calling him, and she's like, "Oh, Glenn Close, pretending to be a woman, pretending to be a man, but so hot." And, it's like,
And then he's like,
all worth
wait,
it.
Alana thinks so.
Yeah, he's referenced to be a butler who in like the 1920s was a woman who pretended to be a man to work at a hotel and then falls in love with another painter at the same hotel who is a woman pretending to be a man as well, and he doesn't know if he's going to disclose his secret in order to connect with this woman because he falls in love with
Whoa.
her.
Oh my gosh.
I looked at the plot of the movie.
Wow, you
Okay.
did your research.
We have to cut to our first break, but when we get back, we're going to get into the broad and the butter of the episode. And we're back from the break.
Save that, yeah.
The cold open, you love it?
It's one of my favorite cold opens because there's so many little tiny details, even just down to like the snacks they have in their pockets.
So
like you can just
funny.
pause when they're on the elevators,
When
and there's
they
so many
open
little
the
jokes.
army jacket and it's like full of all the different types of snacks, like salty, sweet.
Yeah, and just the like movie clerk like with his head down the entire time asleep. Just so many little good bits in it. And then you have the classic Alana committing light sexual assault, which is a feature in this episode.
Well,
And they
we've
set you
been
up for that.
keeping
8
track,
times.
and this is
Right.
the 12th episode of the series. We're 12 for 12 on Alana doing something inappropriate with Abby.
Yeah.
I really do like this the sequence of a movie theater though. Like
It's so fun, and
Yeah.
it's so like, yes, you're gonna sneak into the movies, see 3 movies in a
Uh-huh.
row, be annoying as fuck, and then complain and get the free movie
well,
pass.
it's our
again.
conversation around broke behavior where it's like, are these people poor? Maybe, but they're broke for sure.
Yes.
Like, right, like they go to the movie theater, they got their ticket for free from complaining from last time. They walk in, they have a whole slew of snacks. They have like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then they like go ahead and see 3 movies and complain at the end because it sounds weird.
Yeah.
Which is also a great metaphor for it's like these privileged women are like, I can go in, I can do whatever I want in this space. I have such control. And at the end of the day, I'm going to complain and get my ticket back.
Oh, yeah.
Literally.
Which is awesome.
It is that the line the show walks
Right.
constantly of like,
Exactly.
oh, broke, fun women who are doing this, and I would do that with my friends. And then, oh, it is kind of like super privileged. Like you are like
Right.
eating cereal in a movie theater and like acting like the black lady behind you who wants you to be quiet is like a problem.
Yeah.
and like, yeah, okay. But then it's like, yeah, but I would do that.
No.
It's so fun to go to the movies here, and it depends on like if I'm going with like ex NYU students,
Uh-huh.
they're like buying
Which you will do.
which I
Yeah.
do. It's like they're
Often.
buying popcorn, soda, milk duds, like a little pastry. Meanwhile, when I go to somebody who went to a state school, it's like we're buying candy next door, we're sneaking
Yes.
it in, like
We're going to Rite Aid.
Yeah.
We're filling our
Yeah.
pockets. Like, yeah.
Well, we went to Storm King last week, which is the biggest outdoor sculpture garden in America.
Ooh.
And me and my other friend from Westchester, we had our student ID still. So we used that to get the student pricing.
Yeah.
They didn't even look at the thing. I go back in line, I hand it to my other friend. I go, they didn't even look, just use my ID for the other woman. He goes, state school, walks up to the front. He's like, I got too scared to do that. I didn't want to cross that line. Which is, I think it's a great exact.
it's giving Abby.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I still use my student ID.
Of
I
course.
graduated like 10 years ago. I am still on like
don't have
Student
that.
Bean with like my at williams.edu, like getting all those discounts.
Oh, I just bought Final Draft the other day with my Tulane.
Yep,
literally.
My college email doesn't exist.
Oh, yeah. Her
Ugh.
college went under.
My college renamed itself, and
Ah.
I lost my email in the process, and all my work.
Right. Well, I do think this is a great example, the cold open, of like how these are the protagonists of the show. But in a lot of ways, and this is why people don't like girls too, it's like because these are the antagonists.
Yeah.
You're
They're
doing
the antagonists of the city.
of the
Yeah.
antagonists of the city.
They're the
exactly.
girls that if you ran into them, you'd roll your eyes. You'd be like, they're
Absolutely.
so annoying and irritating. And that's what I love about it. And
Right.
And they
you have
wink to
embrace
that, like in
Yeah.
later seasons when they're like, y'all only hang out with each other. Y'all are really off-putting.
Yeah.
Like,
Like you go to parties, you don't talk to anyone else.
Yeah.
Like, so that's what I love about the show. I
Yeah.
think we don't have a lot of shows now where characters are just allowed to be awful, just
Uh-huh.
sort of the main characters. I'm hoping for it. I want that
Right.
back.
Well, they're awful in a way where it's like really charming and awesome. But I just started Industry to show, and all those characters are awful in the most awful way possible.
Oh, they're scary awful.
They're scary
No,
awful.
Industry is like, oh no, they're gonna someone's dying.
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
The first episode,
Yeah.
someone dies because they're like because everyone treats them so
So,
terribly
yeah,
in the office. Essentially,
it's-
You
that's
know, I'm
scary
still not
awful.
over that episode of Hacks where she like meets that awesome guy and then he commit suicide by jumping out the
Yeah.
window.
Oh
I
my
wasn't
God.
ready for that to happen.
I mean,
But
can we
it's like,
rewatch that?
yeah.
It's an amazing episode, but it did freak me out.
Same.
Yeah.
And there's something about where I was like, clearly there has to be something bad, but I thought he was going to be like, oh, I have like cancer and I'm dying in a week or
exactly.
something.
But
to
jumps.
just that was a strong, bold
I was
decision.
like,
Which
what
I think
happens
could be
in
a Broad
Vegas-
City plot line. Like it feels
Yes.
very Broad City.
It does.
Like you having the craziest day of your life with a guy in a casino, and then
that
at
would
the
happen to
end,
Abby.
He kills him. Yeah, it would
Yeah.
happen to Abby.
It would be Abby.
What's Hannah Einbinder's character's name? Ava.
Ava.
Ava and Abby and Alana need to have a girls' night.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh my
Ooh.
God, you're so right. Because it's like,
Yeah.
what does feminism look like 10 years later?
That's so Sweet Life of Hannah Montana, but happens in Broad City edition. And let's get Marnie in the mix.
I would love this.
Wait, have you seen Babes? The Alana and Michelle Buteau movie?
yeah. Actually, I watched it like 3 weeks ago, and how did you feel about it?
Well, we thought it was fun. We wish it was more fun.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen, but it starts with the saddest premise in the like it's so sad, the circumstances of what happens, that I never could get over it. And so I just was sad the whole
Yeah.
time.
That's
And then by
so-
the end you're like, wow, that's sad. Cool. Even the funniest parts, I was just like, oh, but it's
I need to add
still
something to that.
sad that this child will like never
Literally.
know their father.
Father,
Like
yeah.
I'm
That is
still just
sad.
sad.
Literally.
That is sad. But I was gonna say
I think they should have sent him to prison. I think it should have been like he goes to prison. or
he's
something.
problematic. Yeah,
And that could be funny.
No,
but,
right?
But dead. It's like it is cool because he was really he
Oh,
gets
that
to
does feel
stay
like
a
the
nice
Hacks
guy.
yeah,
episode.
he gets
But
to say
it reminded me of this episode because they have the whole like running gag of like they go to the movie theater every year on Thanksgiving in New York City. And then the
Oh,
end of this
yeah.
episode, Abby and Alana are sitting in bed talking to each other and they're just like, I can't believe when you have birth, you can also shit yourself. That's crazy. Why didn't we know that? Which is like the entire premise of Babes is essentially why didn't we know
Why
that?
didn't we know
Oh,
that?
that's a
Yeah.
really good point.
But I just felt the parallels. So
Yeah.
They were calling to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The parallels are
Calling.
calling.
Yeah, that is beautiful to see that resonate throughout Alana's work.
Yeah.
The parallels are calling have to be a new segment on the pod.
Parallels are calling.
Parallels, they're calling.
Can we talk about Bevers and Abby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is easy to talk
yeah,
about.
I feel like in the series, this is one of the first episodes where I enjoyed the two of them
Yeah.
having a storyline. Bevers annoys me most of the time.
I hate
I'm one of
him.
the, I'm one of the. There's a waste of time with Bevers.
Yeah, no, we get actually angry.
Yeah, I get angry with Bevers plot lines, and this is one I can be okay with because Trey is there mostly.
Yeah, you know what it is? Bevers does get better as the show goes on, and it feels very Ray Perchansky to me, where it's like, I absolutely hate that guy, season 1, 2, and 3, but actually, as we continue, I'm like, I love that guy. Keep telling me his story a little bit more.
Although I will say,
But it's how I feel about almost every straight guy. Like, I need to know you for
Yeah.
about 3 years of my life before I actually come around to liking you.
Exactly.
this is my whole thing with straight men is I get so mad like Abby does at Bevers where I'm like, why are you like this? And then the next day they've like signed up for a gym. They're like, your words actually matter to me.
Yeah.
And I really did take what you said to heart. And I'm like, oh, I had no idea.
I will say,
Yeah.
I've always liked LinkedIn and I've always liked Adam. I never felt negative about those two straight
Who's
men.
Adam? Oh,
From girls.
Sandler.
Love that guy, yeah.
Yeah, love Adam Sands. Adam on Girls, I loved him from the start. I've dated so many angry,
Really?
scary
Pilot
men.
episode, you said no problem.
Yep, yeah.
my gosh.
I have very bad scary taste in men that I date. So
Well,
it was
I think to go to liberal arts college, you have to.
yeah.
It's like you didn't want to go to an Ivy? Fine, you're
Yeah.
gonna date scary weird
I'm gonna
men.
date scary weirdos. And so right away I was like, I'm Hannah, been in the situation. I feel it, girl. Should you walk away? You're not going to. He's gonna punch a hole in a wall. It's oof. Yeah.
You're so lucky.
You know, you gotta get that
You
out
have
of your system young.
everything,
You
yeah.
just gotta get that out of your system young.
So what we're hearing
know.
is we haven't done that yet. So our 30s are gonna look bleak. They're gonna be really scary, girl.
Please no, let it be okay.
Yeah. Just stay away from the Adams. It's
I know.
I think most people
can't.
have sense. Just don't be a Hannah. Don't.
I know, but there's something so we can't get. I mean, it's
We
too.
can't.
But
we,
I
But
can.
we should.
Yeah.
But what if we did? Bevers, Bedsore. Wait, what was the new segment
Okay,
called?
Uh,
The Parallels Are Calling.
Calling.
The Parallels Are Calling in Bridesmaids when it's Rebel Wilson and her brother or whatever, and they have like sores all over their body for some reason, or some
Yes.
sort of rash.
Yeah.
Bevers couch sore. Sorry, not
Wait,
bed sore.
Yeah.
I have a
couch
parallels
sore,
are calling to
which
me
was
as
so
well.
gross.
Okay.
His back when we see the bed sores to me is the substance body horror.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Like watching it, I was like, this is actually worse than whatever
That
happened in
was
that film.
worse, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little Bevers should have popped out.
Li-
That'd been great.
Oh my
I know.
gosh.
Wait, if he took to substance, who would? It does. Who if he took to substance? Who would become the Bevers?
Ooh, who would be like
the better
baby
version?
Bevers?
The-
A better Bevers.
Justin Bieber.
Um,
Ooh.
PETA.
Yeah, right.
What about PETA?
Peter Millark.
PETA from Hunger
organization.
Games.
Oh.
Peter Millark.
Yeah.
What's his name? Josh Hutcherson?
Yeah,
The-
Josh.
The
Yeah.
poor bread boy.
I'm picturing him when he was in Bridge to Terabithia, though, that character.
Oh,
A
I can see
child.
that. A
Yes,
child, yeah.
a little boy is in fact what I'm picturing. Isn't
That's
Margaret
awesome,
Qualley a
girl.
child or nope?
No, she's 30 in real life, and then in the movie she's probably like 25.
Yeah. She
Oh,
says she's
wait.
like 19.
Fun fact
Oh.
about this episode. So, of course, Abby Bevers is gone for the first time ever, and Abby's like, finally, I have the apartment to myself. There's no better feeling than when you have roommates and none of
Yes.
them are home, and you can finally be yourself for once. When they shot The Edge of Glory, she was so nervous. They like took a shot before hitting action, which is so Mamma Mia.
You know
core.
what? This scene,
Right?
it's the most expensive needle drop in the show yet. Have you watched the show up until now? It's
Yeah.
all cheap songs.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like it's from artists you've never heard of or never will hear of. And then they finally got a Lady Gaga song. in
Yeah.
there. It's their first
Season
expensive
2,
song.
Comedy Central was like, we're giving you,
You get the
Bigger
budget.
Yeah.
We're like, finally, we'll be closer to like girls like HBO energy.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like,
really-
oh, you've made us relevant again. Please.
Yeah.
You can have money.
Yeah.
Well, whatever money they had.
Not
Oh,
much.
Poor guys.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I got
Poor
high
comedy
last
Central.
night and described to my friend for about 45 minutes like the power of the Miralax Broad City ad that came out a few months ago, and how like it
Yeah.
was amazing from a marketing standpoint, and how well written it was, and how those two girls probably got paid to do that ad as much as they got paid to do an entire
do an
You know what
entire
this ties to?
season
You know what
of-
this
yeah.
ties to? When Trey takes a photo of himself and it's a Nokia phone, I swear to God, that's a plant for the Nokia.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Don't you
I was
think?
gonna say this episode is kind of one of their best for brand placement.
Uh-huh.
It's also they have a clear deal with oh my god, what is it like
Cinnabon?
Cinnabon? Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they
s-
do.
They
Yeah.
literally call it Mochalatta Chills,
yeah.
but never bring them up.
but never bring it up. And then at the end, they're like, "These are actually pretty good."
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay,
That's how they paid for
Cinnabon.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah,
we
that
figured
is-
it
I
out.
honestly do believe, yeah.
The Cinnabon was for Edge of Glory.
Yeah.
I love that. Hey, you guys, I love that. Do you have roommates?
Not right now, no.
Bougie as fuck.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm an adult now. I'm very old. The Miralax commercial, my friend Simone Baptiste actually directed it. She's
Oh,
amazing.
really?
It is a funny
Wait.
ad.
It is. It's a great
I was like,
ad.
who directed it? I was like Googling. I was like, what ad agency did this?
Oh,
I
wait,
was
yeah.
like fangirling from like a marketing nerd perspective.
Yeah, she's amazing. Simone Baptiste. Just go
Shout-
check her out.
I thought that was incredible, Simone.
Yeah, she's so good. And I watched it and was like, oh, I'm old. I was like, I do consider Miralax as a product that I may need. I am in my 30s, and the girls who
That's
define
so
my 20s
funny.
are old with me now. And wow, someday they'll probably be Golden Girls and have a show for me as I'm old. And
Right.
you know what? I embrace that, and I love it.
Aging is a gift.
It's a gift. I hope everyone gets to be as old as I am someday. But yeah, and part of being old is that I don't have to have horrible roommates anymore.
Ooh.
You can do the Edge of Glory dance.
will say,
All the time.
I've
I
always
walk around
needed
naked all the
Miralax.
time.
I will say,
Yeah,
I've always
needed
needed
Always needed
Miralax.
since you were young.
Since I was a small child.
Literally, being Jewish is hard on the body.
I know, I definitely
It's a
used
gift.
Miralax with like tangerine powder as a young girl because my parents didn't give me produce.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have to. That has to be something else.
That feels like a deeper
Yeah.
conversation.
Well, let's not get into it.
The parallels they're calling.
Parallels.
The parallels.
Should we talk about Alana's amazing day at Deals?
Yes.
It's kind of the scariest day ever, too, if we really want to think about it.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
love any day where we get to see her really in the office space. But it is just like they pick problematic Alana and turn it up to 12.
No,
They really
truly.
went all the way to 12 today.
All the way to 12. And you're just like, oh, like, what horrific thing is she going to say in the next like person she
Every
interviews?
line.
Or when they have like the black girl singing like Swing Low, Sweet
When
Chariot.
she started singing like a slave song, I was like, well, this is a period piece.
Yes.
What
She
we're watching
compares
right
her
now.
relationship with these employees is Stockholm syndrome that Thomas Jefferson had with the slave he
Yeah,
was like
with the
romantically
yeah.
inclined with.
And it's like, yes, that's part of the humor. She's awful, but it's like it just goes so far.
It goes so hard, and then it's like when you think it can't go harder,
It's so
she's
crazy.
made out with all the
All of
interns,
the
and they're like, "Are you firing?"
because we made out.
Because we kissed.
Even the gay one.
Yeah,
That
and
was
she's
really
like, I don't
impressive.
even know anymore.
Right.
It is funny.
It is
Yeah.
funny when Abby calls her out because, like, so Alana goes to like some bougie restaurant in like a TJ Maxx white power
She's a
suit.
Maxinista.
Yeah.
And then Abby's
Maxinista.
like, "Did you just call that a white power suit
suit.
while leaving your like what was it? Ethnically something like
Smorgasbord. Yeah.
And Alana was like, "I'm a white supremacist and a capitalist. I must
do
go."
like, she goes to white power suit, and then Alana's like, "What's wrong with white power suit?" And Abby's like, "Well, let me explain." And the fact that Alana's like, I had to have that explained. I
Right.
just love that little beat. So I love problematic Alana. It's
Right.
Really.
Hey,
Go there.
Yeah,
think the
go
whole-
there. It's
Right.
as someone who is old, I was there at this point in time of history, and that's what it was like, I guess. Ironic racism. That was all the TV shows. So
They were like, "It's not racist because it's ironic."
yeah,
Exactly.
like there's an episode of Lady Dynamite.
With Maria Bamford.
Not
Yes.
another
Okay.
parallel.
Yes.
The parallels
The
are
parallels
gone.
That was around the same time, and it has the Lucas brothers in it. And the whole joke is that like she can't tell them apart, and it's like racist, but ironically, and it just you watch it now and you're just like, oh, this is just racist.
Right.
And this one you're like, we get what you're trying to do here, but
Uh-huh.
actually like just having her sing slave songs is just
Racist.
racist.
Uh-huh.
It's really crazy.
It's
But
really
it's-
crazy.
But it's but you know,
It does. It is an amazing allegory for the state of the nation.
yeah.
Well, I
Don't
think
ask me what allegory means.
No.
But like
there's a cave, right?
the whole
Yes.
like the whole thing where like the interns want the job so bad.
Uh-huh.
It's
Yeah.
like I do want an unpaid internship. The only reason I have my current job is because I did a terrible other job where I was like where I worked for a company
Yeah.
where like some white guy like would be like, "I'm so proud of the diverse team we've assembled and how many women I hired." And it's like, yeah, because you can underpay the
Yeah.
women. They work way harder. And then you can like post us on the website and be like, "Look how diverse my team that
Yeah.
I brutally underpay
And
is."
it's a podcast industry which is dominated by women already.
Yeah. Wishing him the best.
But yeah, it's I think an A-star episode for Alana
Right.
personally. As in terms of her being problematic,
Right.
race, just like all of those highlighted to 12.
Absolutely.
love
It's like
it.
when Williams visits Amherst and they do an A+.
Yeah, and they do an
Exact
A+.
match.
She came to this episode and she was ready.
Well, I do think it used allegory. It's like a kind of an allegory for white feminism in a real way.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Yeah.
what is it? She's like, if men are always like taking advantage and like to their own power, to their own benefit. What if a woman does that?
Yeah.
It's actually really awesome. So it's just seen from the lens of empowerment where it's like, I'm a go-getter. I'm a young girl in this industry. I can get what I want. And by doing that, I'll like take these like minority groups and exploit them. And then she doesn't even have like any like reconciliation
Yeah.
about it until she has a conversation with Abby. And at the end, she hands out IOUs. And it's like, as a white woman, I absolutely am okay exploiting you now, but it's because in the lens I will lift up every group behind me afterwards, which like obviously she's never gonna do
No.
or pay those people back. But like I do think it's just such an interesting little
It's for me this is where Broad City
Yeah.
excels. Like it gets a bad rap because near the end they had the Hillary Clinton moment. They
rip it
truly
off the wall.
became the white feminists that they in this episode were making fun of. I feel like in previous seasons they could poke fun at
That's a
that
good
in
point.
themselves. And then by the end, it was like, oh no, we do buy like our girl bossification and like this white liberal feminist idea. And like, yeah, we can have Hillary Clinton on the show and like change things. And it's like, oh no, it was way better when you were like realizing how
Yeah.
futile your efforts are, because at the end of the day, you are two white improv comedians with a TV show. And so, yeah, make fun of that.
That's what they did with the
Literally.
Miralax commercial, I think.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the same conversation
that
they're trying
that
to
commercial was
tackle.
way woker
Yeah.
for sure.
No, that's a really good point. They kind of
So-
became like the enemy they created.
Yeah, and I don't know, I think part of that is like the political moment, right?
Uh-huh.
It felt like this big thing, Clinton, we
Yeah.
we all lived out pretty hard We did.
We did.
You know,
We lived out
And I
last
feel
week
like-
pretty hard. Now,
Yeah.
not so much. But last
No,
week.
not so much now, but
I feel like they've been trying to clear their names
Yeah.
since every political like election.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like, by the way, this is how I feel, and we never fully agreed with that, and this is where I stand. By the way,
and Comedy Central kind of just made us have her on the show. We didn't even really want that.
yeah.
There are some missteps in the later seasons, like with Trey and stuff, but I mean, I still think it is on the shelf with like Girl Sex in the
Right.
City of like 20 something must see TV for just like
100%.
girls. Yeah.
It really is.
100%.
It tells more. It tells a very dynamic story, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's not really and honestly, it's queerer than any of the other shows.
Very
even if
true.
it's not even being that queer, it is still a queerer lens, and it
I
talks about
know,
bi
yeah.
girls in New York City, which
Yeah.
actually has to be talked about.
Which was pretty radical. If they couldn't even get Hannah to be bi for more than half an episode.
Right.
3 different times.
Wait, can we talk about so I feel like therapy talk wasn't quite in the mainstream yet. I love the scene where Alana and Chris Gethard, what's his character's name?
Oh,
Todd.
Todd? No,
I
that
think
can't be
I
right.
think it might be Todd.
It is Todd.
that feels right. Yeah.
We'll give it to him.
Yeah,
But
Todd.
he's like, I got a therapist and she told me to write down how I feel. And it was like him truly having to read off the paper. I feel like you don't respect me when you actively disrespect me.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't do your job for once today, I will have to let you go. Thank you so much. Sincerely, Todd. And
Oh my
Alana is
God.
like, you have a therapist? I have a therapist. I am so proud of you for telling me how you feel. I had no idea. Like her complete, like, I had no idea that I made you feel that way. I feel terrible. I will work today for you.
Yes. Like it just dawned on her.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And Nicole's in the back corner, like, about to
She
leave.
needs therapy.
Nicole needs to be
But
set
early
free.
therapy talk is always so comical to me. Like when people first start therapy, the way they're like, I can now and like actually express my emotions
Yeah.
by stating them out so specifically and clearly and writing down, which I actually think is always more harmful than actually having an earnest conversation with someone. It's like writing down exactly how you feel and then weaponizing that like later down the line. Where it's like, great, I'm glad that you're able to like vocalize how you feel, but then when you actually start like vocalizing it in such a strict way, I think it actually becomes like kind of harmful.
Yeah.
And
And it's hard to like
Yeah.
organically let the conversation kind of grow. And sometimes people get so locked into the therapy talk
Right.
and the defined things they want to talk about that it's like when you come back to them, they're like, actually, I'm not ready for this conversation because
Yeah.
now I need to take what you're saying, go back to my
Exactly.
therapist and figure out what I want to say about this.
Have you guys seen The
100%.
Circle at all?
Yeah.
With Emma Watson?
No, the Netflix reality TV
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
I'm
I watched
sorry.
the first season.
And I meant Love is Blind, of course. And the most
Wait,
re-
what?
Which of course I watched. That's fine.
the most
Okay.
recent season when the character she has issues with her husband to be, so she writes down every single issue that she has with him, and then it's like it's just like,
She's a queen, honestly.
she's a
She
queen. She's
shares
awesome
the
for
Excel
that.
doc?
Well, she just like basically like right before
Oh,
the breakup,
even
she
more
just writes down-
passive aggressive. She just leaves the notebook
Yeah.
out on the bedroom side table, his side. So not even like she woke up and just left it. She literally goes it, puts it on
you
his night
kidding?
table, and he like finishes brushing his teeth and is like, "So
No,
I'm guessing
literally.
this is here for me to read."
We are in the golden age of reality television. That's
No,
incredible.
it's
Yeah.
incredible, but she's also think that she's being like emotionally intelligent for doing that. She's like,
Yes.
I wrote down my issues. I explained them really well in this notebook. Now let me passive aggressively
Yeah.
share them with you.
Like she's like, this is a way to help him improve. I'm turning
Right.
him from a boy to a man because I wrote on my little like
Oh,
list.
is
like,
it the blonde girl?
yeah,
yes,
totally.
the breakout
Yeah.
star from the season.
Yeah.
What's her name? Hannah?
Hannah,
Hannah. She is a
Yeah.
Hannah too.
Hannah and Nick.
Oh my god. Did
That-
they end up getting engaged?
No.
Well, yeah, they're engaged, but they don't get married.
Yeah, they don't get
Got
married.
it, got it.
They
Yeah,
don't even
yeah.
make it to the altar.
Oh,
They-
thank God.
Yeah.
I never actually watched the last episode of the season because
It's boring.
It's so
It's
bad.
so useless.
Without them.
You already know what couples are going to get married, and
Ugh.
then the reunion was also kind of boring.
I would love to see like Alana on this show on Love Is Blind. I actually think she'd kill. She'd have a lot of different matches. And
I think everyone would fall in love with her because
Uh-huh.
the like depth on that show is just, oh my god, your grandma's name is Mary. My grandma's name is Mary.
Yeah.
I think we're soulmates. And I could just see Alana doing that with every
Yeah.
single person.
This
As-
is my problem with the show is I watch it and I can't believe there's people in the world that are like, I feel deeply connected to this person because I told them one vulnerable thing and
Yeah.
they said cool.
I want to
That's
be on
all
it so bad.
so bad.
I want you to get engaged.
I would literally do it for TV. I would get
Yeah.
married for TV.
I would do it for
Absolutely.
TV. Absolutely, yeah.
Well, and it's the only way you can actually be successful in the show is to fall in love.
Right. And you want to tell a story.
Yeah.
Exactly. The only way they'll give you screen time.
Let's cut to our second break. And when we get back, we will wrap up chatting about the episode.
Yeah.
And we're back from the break.
Oh my god. Okay, so I have one question that's kind of been like rattling around my brain. Do you think Bevers purposely hurt himself to get out of the workout? Because I've done that thousands of times.
Honestly, no. I
think he was pushing
yeah,
himself.
he was like, I think this
Really?
is a genuine Bevers moment. And I think that's why we have the sweet moment at the end where Abby and Alana are kind of taking care of him in their way, with the ropes to keep him awake. So I do think he genuinely was like, I'm going to change.
I do think he genuinely hurt himself. I actually don't. I think he genuinely didn't. Like, actually, I think he didn't actually. I think he faked it. Why did I say genuinely so many times?
I don't
Let
know.
me take the point back.
Okay. Do you want me to edit out that
Yeah,
or keep
yeah,
it
yeah,
in
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's raw and real?
It's raw and real. Well, I do think he hurt himself. Like, I think the thing about, especially the first day you work out for the first time, especially hard, it's like, I can't tell you how many times I one time went to running camp and we had to run 13 miles a day. So I faked breaking my ankle and I was really good at acting at it. And I even convinced the nurse.
If you could convince the nurse.
The nurse, then yeah, you broke your ankle.
I
You're
broke
good.
my ankle for sure. And like, it really hurt, but I'm like, that was part of the gag.
Meanwhile, I
got all
once
swollen.
broke my wrist skiing, and my dad was like, "There's no way." And I skied with a broken wrist for 4 more days, and then I got home, and my mom was like, "Your wrist is so inflamed. Let's go to the doctor." And I had
Dads
to get a
never believe in
cast.
injuries.
Oh my,
But my
no.
dad convinced me, like, "Oh yeah, I just fell."
Yeah, this is supposed to hurt.
I remember one time threw up in a Jewish ghetto in Barcelona.
What?
The first day I was there. And my dad's like, "You're fine. It's just from the airplane." And then I, of course, was bedridden and had been sent to a Barcelona hospital
Oh
for
my
potential appendicitis.
No. Working out, Bevers, Abby.
Yeah.
Okay, it is so true. When you're your first time doing a workout, you can go so much harder than your second time
Right.
doing a
Yeah.
workout. Like, you're gonna go so hard in day one and then not be able to walk the
To
next
walk- yeah.
day.
For weeks.
And let's be
For
real,
weeks.
Abby did not do a great job stretching him out. She wasn't
No.
really trying.
No,
Like, come
yeah.
on.
Do you think she's a good fitness instructor?
I think she has the drive and motivation for it, but I don't think she has that dog in her.
No.
Like personally, I need a trainer who is gonna scare me
Right.
into going hard. And Abby, I just feel like I'd be like, stop, and she'd be like, you know what,
Right.
you're right. Like whatever works
Yeah.
for you. And that's not what I like.
Yeah.
I don't think she has the skill even. Like,
Yeah.
I see the way that she prances around the gym. She can't even catch a medicine ball correctly. Like, this girl, she's not ready.
She's not ready.
No,
I'm
not at
sorry,
all.
but she's not.
Yeah, she's not. And,
Well-
but Trey's, I do love that in this one, he's just like, wow, our happiness cycles are
Are
synced up.
Trey
So
is
Do you
why
think
don't you,
half-
you're ready to step up for something.
I was
So
thinking in this episode how fun it is that the Trey character Paul W. Downs play in this is very much like kind of the Kayla character in Hacks, where Paul is now playing the Abby character of having to
Yeah.
be curmudgeonly erg.
Yeah.
And it's fun to see both sides.
Well, I've
He's
always
so
thought Alana is
incredible.
a basis for Mike Salter's character in Hacks.
Kayla?
Yeah, I think
Ooh.
Kayla is based off some of the mannerisms Alana has, a laissez-faire attitude around a workplace.
yeah.
I,
think-
love when we say laissez-faire on our podcast.
Laissez-faire.
We say it all the
Laissez-faire.
time.
There's no other way to describe it.
Yeah.
I know, but I think they wrote the character of Kayla based on Megan Stalter's Instagram presence.
No, they totally did, but I also think the part of the premise of even having someone work in an office like that came from having
Yeah.
Alana.
Totally.
Like this.
Like a just messy, inappropriate, unprofessional side character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Would you guys like having Trey as a trainer? I'm trying to think.
I like anyone as a trainer at this point.
Yeah,
I
honestly,
need help, I can
if I
get.
can afford a trainer, I'm in a good place in life. So
I guess that is true.
but yeah, I think I'd like that.
My dream is to be a podcast host that's like, my trainer told me this. One day. One day. Guys, send this
Yeah.
to your cousin, your friend, your
Blow it
mom.
up.
Blow it up. Is there anything else we have to cover or should we get into?
Let's get into it.
Ashley, what is your Broad City moment?
My very best friend and I from college, we had another friend who was a weed dealer. Okay. So sorry. And
not beating the Alana allegations.
Yeah, not beating the Alana allegations, but he's a weed dealer. He like supplied our whole campus and stuff, which again, very small school, hard to get weed there. And he's like, hey ladies, my dad is sending me an ounce of weed from California. And I need to go get it from the post office in Springfield, Massachusetts, because they tried to deliver it to campus, but it got returned at the post office because my dad wrote the zip code wrong. Will you drive me to Springfield, Massachusetts to get it? And if you do, I'll give you both like an eighth of weed.
Incredible deal.
Yeah, incredible deal. And we're both like, fuck yes, let's go. Skipping class, gonna drive you to Springfield. And I'm just like, so you said your dad wrote the zip code wrong and that's why it got returned? And he's like, yeah, I've been calling the post office like all week. They told me it is in the office, locked up, and I just need to come get it. And I'm like, oh, it sounds a little okay.
You're like, checks out.
Yeah. I'm just like, you know what? I'm an optimist. So sure, they just are holding this package for him. And even though now they know the zip code, they're not just going to put it back in the mail. So we like go to this post office and my friend and I are just like, well, should we wait in the car? And I'm like, let's just go in, whatever. And as soon as we walk in, there are like 5 cops there. And I am immediately like, they know that it is weed in that package. And I pretend to not know him. I just like walk over to like a bunch of like cards and like boxes. And I'm like, yes, I need stamps and envelopes today. My friend is like pretending she has a P.O. box. She's like, which one is where did I put my key? We're just like, we don't know him.
My God.
And the whole time, leading up to this, he'd been like calling the post office and being an asshole. He's like, look, I go to Williams College. I want my mail, like blah, blah, blah. He walks in with a Williams College hoodie on and the cops immediately walk up to him and they're like, oh, you the big guy from the good school? He's like, yeah, that's me. He immediately like puts his hands up. My friend and I are just like, let's just try to walk out. They grab us and they're like, we saw you walk in with him. Like, no, absolutely not. You're coming back with us, girls. They take us all to the back room. Into this little office. There's a package there and they're like, is this yours? He's like, yeah. They're like, as soon as we walk in this room, by the way, it already smells like weed. The guy opens, he's like, can I open it? He's like, yeah. He opens the box. His dad sent him a full ounce of weed in a Ziploc bag and then he put 1 dryer sheet on top.
Stop.
That was it. Just one dryer sheet. He was like, that'll do it. It's set. And mailed it off. And as soon when they opened it, the whole post office smelled like weed. It was so strong.
I know where your 8th went, to the dad. Jesus.
It was so strong. And the cops are like, oh, this is that really good Cali Hydro. Like, we could send you to prison for this. It was decriminalized in Massachusetts, but like sent across state lines. And my friend, this guy, he is yelling at them. He's like, this is bullshit, man. This is my fucking weed. I want my weed. Like, give it to me. And they're like, no, we're confiscating this. They're like, this is our weed now, actually. And the cop literally was like, this is some fine Cali Hydro. I'm going to take it for me and let you guys go. He was like, I'm not even giving you a ticket. And my friend is losing. He's like, this is bullshit, man. This is why you cops, you steal. And my friend and I are like, I need you to shut the fuck up and don't say another word. And we just start being the most charming, sweet girls, like pulling out our Abby, Alana, just like sweet cuteness and being like, Mr. Officers, we had no clue. I don't even know what a drugs is. We just gave him a ride. We college. And they're just like, oh, you beautiful young smart girls. And I'm just like, majors, and we have fun. And they're like, you know what? Like, you girls, you go back to campus. And they look at them and they're like, the only reason we're not arresting you right now is because of these 2 sweet girls here. You need to thank them.
Oh my God.
And they let us go.
My God.
Wait.
And I get in the car and my friend, he's still bitching. He's like, I can't fucking believe this. They took our weed. And we just start hitting him. We're like, shut the fuck up. We just got you out of prison. Okay, we just saved your life. Stop talking.
Oh my God.
And that was something where I was like, this would be a Broad City episode.
How dare we be
my
so
God.
ungrateful?
Right? I am just like, they were fully
Did he
about
ever
to
thank
arrest you. He actually did last year. Nearly 10 years later, he finally was like, I think back on it and you guys really got me out of trouble there. And we're just like,
oh my God.
So
like, yeah, man.
Never give up. If you're waiting for the apology,
apology?
or the thank you never got.
Never give up.
I'm really glad you didn't think about the story because that was so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad you just pulled that out of your back pocket.
It's that's the first thing in my life where I was like, oh, I fully am a TV character. I'm so stupid. Of course.
I love the idea of you twirling your hair being like, we have finals, sir.
Truly. Literally, just, oh my gosh, what is my mom gonna think? I don't even know. Like, I don't know. I don't even smile. Do a drug test. Just like begging with this cop, and they let us go.
That's so funny.
And I just went back to campus and immediately was just like, my friend's a fucking dumbass. I'm complaining to anyone who will listen.
Oh my God.
And they are all like, Ashley, I feel like you're very stupid for driving to Springfield, Massachusetts,
Right.
which is 2 hours.
You're right. Can you believe this guy? And they're like, we can't believe you did
We can't
that.
believe you did that. They're like, you drove 2 hours to the state capitol to pick up a package you knew had weed in it from the like, you're dumb. And I'm like, you know what? You are right. Yeah. I was like, that is just pure Alana optimism of like, no, we're going to have the weed and it's going to all work out.
Do you have a Broad City moment?
No, I just started writing my pilot, and it's like my only thing I can say from it is like you can tell which character is based off me because they start every sentence with "I'm gonna kill myself," and that's all I have. And like I'm like, how do I make my character relatable to me in my pilot? So I'm like, now they're writing a pilot in a pilot. Just to kind of circle it all around.
Yeah.
I'm loving following your pilot writing journey because every time you share a sentence, so confusing. What could it possibly be about?
Yeah, and I wrote a web series in college because that's what I
'Cause
was
you
like.
had to?
Yeah,
You
I
had
did
to.
as for my to graduate, but I
Oh,
also was
really?
like, the like web series. I'm gonna do this just like Abby and Alana.
The Midwestern Club.
And and truly, like my pilot was just like, what if there was like a girl from the Midwest and she goes to college?
Wait, and by the way, I really would want to see that.
I would.
Right?
I would.
and then she has to write a web series. And so
Well,
that
you
is
know
the
what? It's
process.
always happening in plays when the play is about a playwright writing a play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't understand. Nobody in the audience is like you.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
That's how I felt.
Girls is also about a writer.
Yeah.
I know.
But it's relatable because she's a writer who hates writing and barely writes.
Yeah,
Right.
And mainly just hangs out.
Yeah. And tweets. So very
And
relatable.
tweets.
That
What
is
is
the
writing then?
experience.
If it's not Twitter. Well, we have one final question for you.
Well,
Oh, well, it's a series of a lot of questions.
girl, get your Glock.
It's rapid fire time.
We're going to ask you a series of rapid fire questions. Do not think twice. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you schoolgirl or you get schooled girl?
Schoolgirl.
How are you?
Not great.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, or Rihanna?
Rihanna.
Who would you rather have go down on you? Michael Bublé or Janet Jackson?
Janet Jackson.
Have you ever gotten hair from your head stuck in your butt crack in the shower?
Yeah.
Is today a cha-chinga?
Cha-chinga.
Are you Maxinista?
Yes.
Who is your solstice self?
Ooh, I'm my solstice self. I worked at a spin studio. Not
Whoa.
only I worked as a cleaner like Abby, and so that is my solstice self.
And you're so Alana.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
is cleaning sweaty cycling bikes. Is just someone who has suffering. It's like, it's really gross. I do relate to Abby in only that way because we both had to clean disgusting showers. Like we had.
like, what happened in there?
Yes, I was like, what is wrong with humanity? Like, guys would come take a class and like jerk off all over the shower. I think because they knew like girls had to clean it up. We had this thing called a red flag, which is when a girl would take a class when she was on her cycle, and
Oh my God.
that would mean like you had to take bleach out and fully deep clean the seat and everything because you could smell it, and it was disgusting. And so, perseverance. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I didn't realize how important of a job it really
Yeah,
was.
I really am. Now I'm just kind of how much of maybe an Abby Alana mix I am.
Yeah.
Well, I had no goal to like teach a class. I was just like, I just want money, and it's part time.
Who
want
would you want to be your focal point if you were giving birth?
I'm gonna go with my bestie Anna.
Oh.
She's been my bestie since 8th grade.
Aw.
She's absolutely my Abby.
I love Anna.
How do we help Nicole?
I mean, first I think she needs a closed office. So that Alana can't just kiss her all the time. Just like a quiet space. Yoga lessons.
So funny.
Something just to meditate, to release.
What deal would you try to get if you were intern for today?
I feel like all of my friends are really into baby Botox deals right now.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, like they're all looking for baby Botox deals on Groupon, so I really think I'd try to fight to get a good baby Botox deal.
Is that just a small amount?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like preventative. You're supposed to start it when you're like 25 or something.
But it's like half the price too.
Yeah.
When you find it on Groupon, it really is half the price.
Yeah, my friend, she was like, she paid $70.
There's always someone who's like doing it for the first time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I definitely was like, so it was in a basement, and you feel good about it, and you're okay.
Because it's actually really easy for anyone to get a proprietary license to do Botox now.
Yeah,
It really is.
and to do like dental work and stuff. Like there's people on Instagram who are just like, yeah, I'll do your veneers.
Well, the Smile Club, I almost got scammed by them.
Oh my gosh, me too.
What is that?
Yeah, it was like Invisalign, but they were like, we're faster because we like
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
but
do
they
it
always fuck up their
online.
teeth,
And
right?
it's completely fake and
Yeah,
not real.
and they were just fucking people's teeth up, and
Oh.
people like lost teeth, and then they got sued and went bankrupt, and they were just like, so sorry, everyone, we're not a business anymore. And all these people who were like, but I was in the middle of doing this, what do I do now? They were just like, go find a real dentist.
Yeah.
Sorry, we've so many. We've never had more questions for
I
this.
know, you added 6 more, I didn't realize.
Do you know your roommate's body? Do you know your roommate's body?
Oh, that was
Yes, I had a famously horrible roommate. This was a whole Twitter saga, but one of the things that she would do that was so awful is that she would shower in the dark, with like all the lights off and
Oh my
the door
God.
open. And so I would like have my headphones in or something, or just like need to use the bathroom, and I come out of my room, go in, and she would be in there just showering naked, and I wouldn't realize it, and be like, what the fuck, close the door.
Oh my God.
so random. I never
Yeah.
heard of a girl being that way.
She very much liked to walk around like naked. We had these
Singing at the
giant open
glory.
windows, and I would be like, hey, my friends are coming over, and my friends would be like, hey, so your giant open windows were open as we walked up, and we all just could see straight into your roommate's room, and she's naked.
Straight into your roommate. It sounded like.
Yeah, I mean,
Do men and women's farts sound different?
no, I believe in equality.
Equality. Boom. Wait, you bodied
You
that.
killed, girl.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wait, where can people find you?
At the Ashley Ray everywhere.
Boom, boom, boom,
I'm on
boom.
tour right now, the Please Be Normal tour. You go to pleasebenormal.com
Oh
to
my
see
God,
where we're going to be.
yes.
We're hitting up Austin, Dallas, and the South, and then some more Midwest states. And you can listen to my podcast, TV I Say. Yeah,
Wait, I love the
Amazing.
name Please Be Normal.
me too.
That
I
is such a
just-
good name.
Please, no one's normal anymore.
No one's normal
No,
and I
not
anymore.
just
normal.
So you're going to
Please be
Austin?
normal.
I hear it's full of weirdos.
It's feel yeah.
You are
Keep it weird.
on
No,
fire
anyway.
today, girl. Thank you so much for being on. This was literally so fun.
Thank
This
you
was
for
so
having me. I
beautiful.
love this podcast. This was so much fun.
We had the best time ever with you.
And happy holidays, everybody. I think this is coming out in December, around the holidays.
Yay.
So check it
Yeah,
out.
when is it? Oh, yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back next week.
Bye.